All right, so this is Dan's Bar. I am now going to talk about day number 5 of the Cortex Command 3D project. It's a prototype that we're building in this brand new Montage engine that uses, it is a game development platform, not an engine. Let's get that right. Game engines are typically something that is a big program. We actually have one on the desktop here, the Unreal Engine, famously one of the best ones out there, and it is an engine that you build a game on that you then have to send to people in the traditional way. It usually is a multi-gigabyte download that people have to download for them to play it and for you to distribute it to them. That's a lot of friction. There's a lot of reasons that is not ideal in our opinion. So we have built a game development platform much more like something like Roblox, where the distribution is done through the cloud in a kind of streaming way. We're leaning into that a lot more than Roblox does. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys how our virtual matter game development platform can actually do some really cool stuff that is much harder to pull off with polygons. So let me do that real quick. I can show you a scan that we did so we're building this Cortex Command 3D concept. The concept of the game is that you're on an alien world. The world is very lush in some places, and that's true to the original Cortex Command game. This is rolling green hills is some of the battlefields that you find yourself on, and you're digging into these hills, building bunkers and keeping your brain in a jar there. That is your consciousness, that is your self, you could say. And you keep it safe in these bunkers underground on this otherwise kind of wilderness surface of this alien planet. So here we have some drone footage that was taken earlier this week in Slovakia, where most of our team is actually. I was there visiting and sprinting on this project, and there's amazing nature in Slovakia. Highly recommend going there just for that alone. You know, the mountains and so on. These are some of the lowland mountains near the Tatras, which are the big mountains, the high Tatras. So we have these beautiful rolling hills with some trees on there, and there's a valley over here with the little town and so on. As you can see, we're just scanning this with a very run-of-the-mill drone. This was a DJI Mavic 2, and it's an older one. You know, this is not something cutting-edge fancy. I certainly did not planned this very carefully, just took a lot of photos. This is photogrammetry, so taking a lot of photos of an area and throwing them into a program that these days is free, even though it's probably the best photogrammetry app out there. Thanks again to Epic. They have purchases. This happened to be a Slovakian company as well. RealityCapture is the name of the company, and Capturing Reality is the name of the program, or the other way around, because I can never remember. One is the company and one is the product, and they swap around the two words, and who knows what actually is what. I think RealityCapture is the program, the product. So as you can see, this is just kind of boring. We got 900 photos. We took them in less than an hour. This can be done in a nice automated way, but we were in this valley and we had no internet, and the automated app on the phone was not cooperating when there was no internet. So we did this manually, and this is what it looks like in RealityCapture, which it is called RealityCapture, is it not? Oh yeah, RealityCapture. Cool. Now Capturing Reality. Capturing Reality is the company that was bought by Epic, and that happens to be Slovakian, and that's the lowdown there. So as you can see here, we have these photos, and there's 933 of them, so we can make the photos a little bigger. We saw these before already. There's a lot of them. Just drop them into this program. Again, it is free program until you make $1 million or something. I forget what the exact terms are, but it's something like that. Very generous of Tim Sweeney and the team at Epic. It's clearly part of a larger strategy to help people populate kind of Epic's idea of the metaverse, I think. But this can be very, very cool for anyone. As you can see, we have now thrown this in here. All these little white dots are photos of my drone actually taking, you know, this. I clicked on this one. This is what it saw at the time, and it's just a picture of this road beneath it. You can see how it's shooting straight down, and it saw this road, and this is flipped around. But yeah, when RealityCapture is done doing its magic, it has actually triangulated all these different photos and figured out the 3D shape of the thing you're scanning with photogrammetry, which again is taking a lot of overlapping photos that then get reconstructed in the computer, and RealityCapture can spit this out. So the original Cortex Command, again, had this rolling hills. It was a 2D game, but still the cross section that you were playing on of this terrain was these kind of rolling hills. And so we thought that maybe we go capture some of this stuff that is in our backyards down in Slovakia. And so that's what we did here. This is just a quick test, very quick test. We actually messed up this so that our RealityCapture is not able to, with the default settings that I have in here, there's a bunch of photos here that are missing. So this is actually based on 600 something photos from the 900 that I took, and then I cropped it down for just having a kind of a good chunk of this. And what I wanted here was 2 hills, so you could have at least 2 bunker complexes and one each hill, and kind of lob rockets and stuff at each other across this little valley with a road in it. And I thought we got a pretty nice result here. So this was actually quite massive. Photogrammetry notoriously outputs incredible detail, but also incredible size in terms of polygon count. So we have 226 million polygons here. Our GPU cannot display that, of course, so they're rendering some kind of I did do a reduction just to play with, down to 50 million polygons, and then I voxelized the big one anyway. So I didn't end up using this, but at least you can see when we do reduce it to 50 million, then RealityCapture and my GPU, motor to the point, can actually load this and render this as polygons and not just like some kind of sparse point cloud. So here we have it. It looks quite nice, right, in here. The question is, how does it look when we voxelize it? And how does it look when we voxelize the high resolution version? So there are a couple of ways to voxelize things and get them into the virtual matter format. You can either drag and drop it, the model. When you export it from here, you get something like this. You will see, oops, that's not the right one. This is the right one. So you get something like a bunch, or then exported, where is it here? Export OBJ, an MTL file, and some very large textures. These are 16K textures, and they are definitely generated from this photogrammetry. Excuse me. I have to do sneezing. And this is late night session at 3 a.m. 3:30. Good times. This is our sprint weeks, so we are working long days, long hours, long nights, and I'm giving you guys an update here. So you can see these textures are just absolutely crazy detail. And this is the beauty of scans, in my opinion, versus something that is authored. Traditional kind of 3D tool sets, you would have repeating texture. Usually you would have tiling of textures, and of kind of the geometry would not be nearly as interesting. Here it's all unique, right? So this ends up being a big file. Just to point this out, it's 36 gigabytes. This one OBJ, and then there's some nice 16K textures, which 4 of them together become 1.3 gigs, which is, you know, hefty. There is 2 ways to voxelize this. One is to drag it into the client, native client. This is kind of too big, I would say, 36 gigs. And when you zip this up, it becomes significantly smaller. You can zip this up quite a bit, and it ends up being like 8 gigs or something. But still, this is a little chunky. We do have this backend, of course, as you may or may not know. We have a Montage, backend for uploading this kind of stuff. So let me show you that. We will fire up this browser, and interesting. Anyway, so here there's a big blue button up in the right corner of our website, and that gives you a login. You can click through that with a Google account very easily, and then you're in here, and now you can upload these large zips up to 20 gigabyte for the zip. So again, the 30 something gigs that zip down to 8 gigs does fit in here, and it gives you an opportunity to voxelize here. So you can voxelize settings, and you end up with an asset in virtual matter form. That virtual matter form asset you can edit quite soon. It's not quite here yet. This is a matter of I would say weeks out, so where we can actually let you go in here and edit this specific asset, even if it's a very big one, and then you can publish it into a montage, which could be either a game development montage or a non-game montage, which has a different kind of trade-off. So the non-game montage has it allows you to have very high resolution assets in there, extremely high resolution assets, sub-millimeter voxel stuff. They can still stream to a phone and all this stuff. That's pretty amazing. But when you're trying to edit this sub-millimeter voxel stuff, it ends up being very slow to edit. And there's other inefficiencies that make it not very scalable. So that's the non-game type of montage. Extremely high resolution, capable, but not really where you're interactively digging into things responsively. And that's in contrast to the other one, which is the game development one, which does have a cap on the resolution of the voxel data that you want to be able to put in there, because the responsiveness matters, right? Like if you're shooting holes and stuff, you want those holes to appear fast enough, and having a not crazy resolution there, which is still higher than probably any other game, I'm almost certain, out there. We're talking 3 centimeter voxels and down, depending on the asset, whether it's the scene or the characters or the weapon. The weapon would probably be the highest density voxels, just for the fact that it's like right up against your eye, so you want nice frequency there. Anyway, so we're coming up on a couple of minutes here left on the video, so I want to show you what this looks like when you finally import this. So this is in our current live montage, game montage. So come on in. There is a link right below. This should be either in the first reply or first comment of the whatever you're seeing this video, essentially. Right below it, we will have posted a link to this live montage, which I'm loading right now. My tab crashed there for a second, but these things happen. So now it's actually loading it, and we will see what this landscape looks like once I've actually voxelized it. So I just threw it in here with all the other junk, frankly, that's in here. There's a head, there's all kinds of different game type assets, there's authored things, there's some nice kind of giant statues of these robots from the original Cortex Command trailer. This is, yeah, like another authored piece of kind of content. You can see that the textures here look quite nice. This is authored though, so you can see there's a repetition. There is a certain look to these kind of assets that are authored by somebody who is a talented game artist, you could say, or technical artist that is able to pull together this kind of stuff with modern 3D tools. And here's, of course, Mari, our friend Mari's amazing voxel art that she makes directly in voxels, in Magica Voxel, the program that is very good at this kind of thing, where you're placing individual voxels and making. And Mari's, of course, just incredible in her artistry here, building things from these little cubes that are super big and impressive architectural monuments. And over here, what is this? We have just dropped this in here. I can move it around, I can scale it. I actually might scale it down slightly. And I've been experimenting with this. Like, you really have a huge amount of leeway when it comes to scaling these things. Collisions work just fine, even at small and big scales. But look at this valley. So I will point out, or it will be obvious, I won't have to point out, but these trees didn't come through looking like trees anymore. This is a limitation of photogrammetry in general. Those trees in the pictures, which you may recall, are really quite they're just not good for photogrammetry in general. So let me show you that real quick. We do have these trees, and they are crazy fluffy, you could say, and photogrammetry does not like this. Like, this is not a good shape for photogrammetry to capture accurately. But you know what? I don't care, honestly. This looks like an alien landscape to me, and the floating blobs might be hard to explain, but it looks cool to me. Like this looks an interesting landscape to me. The floating blobs, maybe that's some, yeah, like I don't know, interesting life form or something. And you see when I go inside of this in the client, of course, I don't see anything inside of there, but that is actually filled on the server side with actual voxel data, as you'll see when I jump in here. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I need to teleport from the other way, so I will teleport. C button does that, by the way, if you want to teleport quickly across the scene. And here we have this landscape, and we're walking around on it now. The F2 button on the keyboard, if you're in the browser, will switch you between the editing and the walking around here. So this is quite exciting to me. We're exploring this valley now that we've captured, and you see how there's no tiling textures here because it's all unique data. And you can imagine fighting in here, let's say, like, you know, dodging behind these blobs, which just look like, yeah, I don't know, some kind of alien moss or something. Not sure what to interpret it as yet, but we can do all kinds of processing on these to like make them look different if you wanted to, like smooth them out in RealityCapture, for example. Also, I'm thinking of making this higher resolution because you see how it's actually quite chunky voxels in here, and there's some crazy input lag, I will have to say. I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's my computer being a little bit difficult, but let me pull up some, you know, guns. Shooting this stuff, you know, creating holes in this is quite satisfying. I've actually made the gun holes be quite small now, so with this chunky resolution you barely see them, but they're showing up really slow. I'm not sure what's going on with them. We are working through all kinds of bugs, of course, constantly. This is part of the process of eating your own dog food, so you don't have to. But look at this. So if I'm digging into the ground here, first of all, you know, just a reminder, we will have lighting quite soon that will make the holes actually darker inside. That will make this a lot more interesting looking, I think, where you're digging deeper and deeper into the dark ground. And now I've uncovered some more guns and weapons and stuff. But look at this, like I just created this tunnel, this amazing tunnel in this landscape. This is like epic Cortex Command vibe, I would say. And yeah, I'm in this, you know, for an hour of work flying a drone around, which I didn't have to do manually actually, if I had internet connection on my phone there. I could have just had this done completely automatic and created this incredibly cool, in my opinion, environment for these shootouts and interesting. But look at this, like this looks like an alien world, is it not? I will up the resolution and try again, because we can certainly afford to have more voxels here per meter, let's say, because that's really what matters. Like the edits being kind of the limiting factor. We want to have the edits be very responsive, so when you're shooting stuff, the bullet holes appear quickly. That is not happening now because of issues with the server that we've been alluding to. The team is, and somebody has joined now, that's interesting. The tech team is working on this. The core guys are working on all these kind of issues with networking and the database continuously, and so we're having also some problems sometimes, but we are running a little long on this video. We're 20 minutes in. I just wanted to give you kind of a taste of what can be done with virtual matter if you scan, and then you can like build a cool bunker complex in here. You'll notice that some of these voxels are kind of transparent looking. That's another bug that we're looking into that was introduced recently. Whoa, there's a person in here. Whoa, hello, plush owl. Who is this? I have no idea. It's one of you guys in the public, I think. I don't think anyone on the team is awake currently, so here we are playing with plush owl. We can do this. We can do an interesting, you know, plush owl is here having fun blowing things up. Let me add some gold in here. Let me add some them's gold. What is this guy doing? He's having fun with the blob gun. and he blobbed himself, so he's all blue and or yellow and stuff. Let me get my face out of the way here, and I can get gold. Yes, gold, please. Woo! Look at this gold. So imagine this being, let's make it rough, so it's a little more realistic looking. So we have this gold, chunky gold in this dirt. And man, you're gonna be very excited to see the stuff that we have cooking. So even when I go into the ground here, you can see that we can get this kind of cool cross-section view. So if we have a bunker complex in here, or you know, a tunnel complex, tunnel network, we can get a perfect overview of it. So this is actually something it looks more than a little weird in here, honestly. Maybe this is okay, I don't know. But it is a view to get, and Plush Owl is running around in here. He's also invisible now, which is a little strange. Oh, here he is. He's all colored. But, yeah. Being able to see, like, an ant farm, exactly what's going on underground with this kind of X-ray vision is super cool, I think. And being able to give units commands like, you know, attack, defend, you know, just stay here and guard, you know, and shoot anything that is not your team. That is going to be quite cool. The AI is coming in. I saw, I know you saw Max's video, or maybe you didn't, but it was the previous video here. Go check it out. It's video number 4, day number 4. And we already have this scene in here that I threw in. It ended up being, I think, 700 megs or so on the server, so we can certainly bump this up, I think, another resolution step, or we scale the whole thing down. We could do either. You know, if you scale this down, it'll have a different feel to it for sure. I think Plush Owl is going to have a bad time when I scale this down. He's probably going to fall through the world here, but who knows. We can just try this out, and then we'll wrap up the video, but I'll move this over so we can jump onto this again. Actually, it's very easy to jump. You just hit this walk thing, and then we fall down. And hopefully the resolution will be higher now. It'll stream in here. There's definitely something weird with my it's like extremely laggy. But I'm not sure I like this better, this scale. Like the trees and stuff become like some kind of uneven, more uneven surface, and also the streaming seems to be messed up here, honestly. So we're gonna wrap this up. This is a super exciting, I would say, experiment in creating level content. You can imagine having these two hills just filled with a bunker complex each, and two brains, kind of like queen bees, you could say, in each of those, just sending troops to each other, trying to infiltrate, trying to dig into the other guy's bunker, lobbing, you know, like rockets and stuff over here, trying to land rockets and crash into or drop bombs on the other bunker. And you can have these like pillboxes come out of the ground and shoot out of them, just like here, you know. So we're sitting in here shooting at the other stuff over there. The streaming has deteriorated on the server, it seems. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but the tech guys will look at that in the morning. The core guys are excellent at tracking down these bugs. They're using all kinds of good debugging and analysis tools for profiling tools for fixing performance issues and just general bugs and stuff. So they're in there at the deepest levels of this microvoxel streaming tech and platform, you know, which does have an engine on the server side, you could say, that is running the simulation and keeping database and all this stuff. But what you're getting on the client side is a efficient stream of 3D data that gets rendered locally, so you have a pretty responsive. Normally, now I'm not having that right now for unknown reasons, but normally it's pretty responsive, especially on the phone. So try the link that I have posted with this, and we will see you in here. There was somebody in here just a minute ago, and this is the live montage, so you can check out. Yeah, Plush Owl is over there, so you can check this out. He's built some structures over here, and come in and build some stuff of your own. This is all a rough test at this point, but we're moving in the direction of having Cortex Command assets in here. We'll show that probably tomorrow. We'll see. We do have robot pieces coming together here too. Let me just show that real quick. Since we're running over time, why not run over time even more? I think these are going to be in the, and this kind of browser is going to be a lot better too. We can actually search, I believe. Let me see. These days, the guys keep adding really good convenience features. Yeah, so we can have CC3D. See? Now it's only CC3D stuff. So here's a head. Will it show up as a head? Yes. A robot head. Look at that. Nicely voxelized at a reasonable resolution that shows the detail while still not being overkill, so that when we shoot this head, let's shoot the head, and then we say goodnight. I'd love a gun, so let me get a gun so I can shoot this head. Can we shoot this head? There's a gun. Nice. Yeah, my controls are insanely delayed for some reason. I'm not sure, and it's not because it's going to the server, because these controls are happening locally, so I'm not baffled by this. But yeah, look at this head. Robot head. Pew! That hole is a little overkill, and it should have more soot and stuff, but yeah, I blew a nice hole in that guy's head. So this is going to be quite fun to do when the whole robot is assembled, and when he dies or you kind of hit him really hard, he can actually fall apart and have physics affect the pieces, roll down this hill and so on. I mean, we're talking Cortex Command here. It's going to be pretty juicy. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in again. This is day 5, concluding at 3:30 in the morning. So hope you guys enjoyed checking this out. We have scenes coming in that are based on photogrammetry, and you can have anything. You can scan your neighborhood, you can scan your school, you can scan whatever you want and put it into Cortex Command and dig into the ground and build your bunker complex and play against your friends on your phones. That is the vision, and we're jamming on this pretty hard this summer, so pretty excited about showing more of this just in the next couple of days. So look forward to that, and data is out. Bye. Ooh, can I stop the recording too? Hey.